Was unterscheidet Götter von Menschen? Dass viele Wellen vor jenen wandern, ein ewiger Strom. Uns hebt die Welle, verschlingt die Welle und wir versinken.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of our brilliant show, The Time of Art. You heard some phrases of the great artwork called Grenzen der Menschheit, written by Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. While looking at the Musei Vaticani, our two art historians will have a short discussion about some Renaissance artworks. So let's switch to our experts Marcel and Max, aka Mama. Hi everyone! The first artwork we are going to talk about is this Renaissance artwork, which can be found in the Raphael's room. It depicts a scene in the center of a marble-like building. The building itself includes various sculptures and some crafted ornaments. We can see a collection of people who are thinking and discussing various topics with each other while wearing robes. While the background is drawn in a more neutral white color, the robes of the people are painted in bright colors. The symmetrical building is pointing into the center of the background by showing clear lines and geometrical shapes. The background depicts the sky in bluish tones and creates an illusion of depth. There is also some use of bluing, since the more reddish and saturated colors are in the front, while the background is mostly blue and less saturated. The illusion of materiality is low. The fresco called the School of Athene was created in 1510 to 1511 by the artist Raphael and can be identified as a Southern Renaissance artwork, as you can see on the vivid red, blue and green colors and the connection to the ancient Greek era. Philosophy and mythology play a huge part in this piece. On one hand, statues seem to represent Greek gods, for example the Greek god Apollo with his lyra on the left and the Greek goddess of knowledge, Athena, on the right. The collection of people, on the other hand, seem to represent famous philosophers of that time, discussing topics of mathematics, philosophy and science, as you can see by the person that is holding a globe.
Okay, so with the speak of my partner, now let's talk about the second artwork. This piece can be found in the Alexandrian Hall of the museum. It depicts a combination of various people, many of them being either naked or wearing light robes. The bodies of those people are drawn very idealistically and muscular, and most of them are standing on a cloud-like shape, but there are also some people either flying to the clouds or laying on the green ground at the bottom of the artwork. The ones standing on the clouds are directing their view into the center of the art piece, in which a man raising his hand and a woman in red and blue are standing. And there also seems to be a yellow art place behind them. Many of the people on the ground seem rather miserable. The colors of this piece are mostly natural, however the colors red, green and especially the blue and minimalistic background are strongly saturated and very vivid. They seem to pop out of this piece. There's a lot of detail in the shading and overall representation of the people, not counting in the dynamic poses of the figures. The piece seems rather flat and doesn't have a big illusion of materiality or illusion of depth in it. It seems to be a very painterly piece and the figures don't have a clear outline. The fresco itself was created by the famous artist Michelangelo and was painted as a commission from a priest for a church in Rome. The motif that is depicted shows the biblical story of the Last Judgment. The two people in the middle are supposed to be Maria and Jesus, who are judging whether the sinners can go to heaven or hell. The miserable people on the ground represent the resurrection of the dead, and if we look closely, we can also see the 7 deadly sins. One special thing about the art piece is that this topic normally isn't found on the altar, but rather at the west side of the church, as a final reminder. Reasons why this wasn't done with this piece might be that, for one, Michelangelo was a highly respected artist, and for two, that there were various plunderers in Rome at that time, so the priest wanted to scare off the plunderers that wanted to steal objects from the church. As soon as the plunderers will open the door, they will see the final judgment day and realize that whatever they do, wherever they go, they can't escape their sins.
Mama, it was a pleasure to be part of your discussion and hopefully you could have learned some new things about the Renaissance. Thanks for watching our weekly show and now to the weather station of Lucerne. Goodbye.